Well, Einar Tangen joins me now also from Beijing. He is a political and economic affairs commentator. Good morning, Einar. Good to see you again.
Good to be here.
So, the economy, as customary, garnered high interest at the two sessions. The government setting a 5.5% growth target this year. That is the lowest in 3 decades. What does that signal to you?
Well, I mean, there's always a regression to the mean. I mean, it's not unusual. It's well within the norms of what they need to achieve their goals in 2035 and beyond. So, I mean, it is lower than last year. Last year was 6. This year it's 5.5. But remember, last year they achieved 8.1. The Chinese government has a consistent pattern of underestimating and overachieving. And I believe this year will be about the same, despite some very, very turbulent headwinds internationally and also some domestically.
Turbulent headwinds, of course, because we still can't talk about economic growth without bringing in the coronavirus pandemic. Did we get any sign of movement on China's zero-COVID strategy, particularly pertinent as we see the highest numbers of cases in the past 2 years?
Well, yes, I mean, but the high cases, but low mortalities, except among those who have refused to get vaccinated. You see that playing out in Hong Kong, where only 30% of the people over 60 have gotten vaccinated, and it is really taking a toll. But China has basically a very scientific outlook. They established that they wanted 85% inoculations, and also a mortality rate that was below that 1% threshold that they've established. Once that's achieved, they'll switch from pandemic to endemic controls. And that does not mean that they won't have some time periods. They want to make sure that the health facilities don't get overwhelmed. They want to protect people as they can, prevent needless spread. But yes, you can expect China to do that. But it's all based on the science, not based on politics. I think China is well aware that that approach has not worked well.
Right, and earlier you also mentioned some of the international political uncertainty. We got a clear sense of China's diplomatic stance on the Ukraine issue, the country sitting on the fence, not interfering. And that, I know, of course, is in line with Beijing's overall foreign policy, is it not?
Well, yes, it is. I mean, back in 2007, both Biden and the current CIA director, Burns, mentioned that if there was a continued push of NATO, that it would end up in a war, probably over Ukraine. Now, that's 2007. I mean, since that period of time, it would have been hoped that people would have taken, more action when it was needed. As they say, a stitch in time will save 9. Unfortunately, it has now kind of exploded onto the stage. The people in Ukraine are the victims here. It's a geopolitical struggle, really, between Russia, NATO, and the EU and the US, and it's unfortunate. China sees both sides to this, but what they really want is peace. There is no benefit. China was Ukraine's largest trading partner. It's essential to the Belt and Road Initiative, and they're kind of pushed to have better access to Europe, the Middle East, Africa, etc. So this is not serving in any way, shape, or form the interests of China. And they would love to see this get to the bargaining table and have some resolution.